back in your seat for our presentations, because now we have a presentation from Blazing Colors. As a child, you may have been in love with Roy Rogers' Palomino Trigger, Tonto's Pinto Scout, maybe it was the Lone Ranger's Silver, or if you are younger, could have been Barbie's Palomino. If you had an interest in the English disciplines, though, you probably thought you would have to forego the colored horses, because warm bloods and sport horses did not come in those colors. Blazing Colors Farm is here at the Royal to educate people about those unique and rare colors that are available in thoroughbred and warm blood horses. These horses are bred for their athletic ability, their conformation and their movement. The unique color is just an added bonus. Blazing Colors Farm breeds these horses to compete in hunter, jumper, dressage, and eventing disciplines. They stand 6 stallions to the public, maintain a group of brood mares, and usually have 4 to 6 foals each year. They're a full-service breeding and training facility owned and operated by April Wayenberg, who's on the lunch line with our mare this afternoon. April's been an equine enthusiast her entire life. Her passion for horses lasted through her childhood and saw her off to equine college, where she graduated after 4 years with a diploma in equine husbandry and breeding management. Once she finished college, April established Blazing Colors Farm with the vision of breeding colored warm bloods to be able to compete in the English disciplines. However, she couldn't find anything in North America to suit her needs, so she looked to Europe, where she found her first stallion, Mircedes. Following that, she purchased Arts Arrow in Virginia, and finally she incorporated colored thoroughbreds in her breeding program with the purchase of Sato. April is passionate about the horses themselves and about educating people concerning their unique colors and abilities. Now, to share her work with you at the Royal, April has brought Mircedes to join us. She's a 4-year-old warm blood stallion who is currently just being started under saddle, and she'll be brought along as a hunter over the next couple of years before she moves into the jumper ring. April enjoys breeding as much as she enjoys starting and bringing along her young horses. The Mircedes is a result of April's breeding program, and she's a prime example of what she strives to produce. She is only 4 years of age, and this is her first time off the farm in an atmosphere like this. Many young horses would find this sort of situation intimidating, but breeding for temperament as well as movement and color make this mare the epitome of what she strives for in her breeding program. Mircedes is a warm blood and is a buckskin and white pinto. She's 100% warm blood with no stock horse in her pedigree, and she was the first warm blood of this color and pattern to be born in North America. Her sire is the Cremello warm blood stallion Mircedes, and he's one of the stallions owned by Blazing Colors Farm. And her dam is an imported Dutch warm blood mare, sired by the world-famous Samber. Now, a question many people ask is, what is the difference between a pinto and a paint? Well, a pinto is a horse that has large patches of white on its body. A solid would be a horse with no white patches. But a pinto is not a breed. It rather is a color pattern. A paint, on the other hand, is a breed. A paint can have lots of white markings like Mircedes here, or none at all, but a paint must have quarter horse or thoroughbred blood in it, because as a breed, that is all they allow. There are several different types of pinto patterns available. Mircedes is a Tobiano. The pintos can also come in Overo, Sabino, Splash, Dominant White, and of course combinations of those. Each pattern, though, has different characteristics in where the white markings are on the horse and the type of line that delineates the split between the color and the white. A Tobiano, like Mircedes, has solid colors between the color and the white, and if you look closely at her as she goes by, you'll see there are no white hairs scattered throughout her buckskin hair. Sabino and dominant white patterns tend to have jagged edges with white hairs scattered in the color. But the pinto pattern also has nothing to do with the color of the horse. A pinto can come in black, bay, palomino, buckskin, or really any other color. Pinto just refers to the white markings a horse has. Mircedes here is a buckskin, and a buckskin is a bay horse with one dilution gene. If the horse were a Palomino, it would be a chestnut with one dilution gene. Now at Blazing Colors Farm, there are several different types of pintos with respect to pattern and color. They have lots of pictures at their stall and would like to share them with you and discuss those color patterns. With all of the choices that are available for us to customize what we put on our horse, Blazing Colors Farm sees no reason why we should not be able to customize the colors of the horse itself. If you have any specific questions about Pinto versus paint, or what colors you will get when breeding two colors together, please be sure to visit their booth located behind the bleachers, where they can explain those to you in more detail and show you lots of pictures. Blazing Colors Farm is proud of the horses they breed, and they love to discuss them. Spirit of the Horse Ring presents to you then a Blazing Colors Farm presentation. And Lindsay has the microphone. Now that she's down off Mircedes, she is going to come in, answer any questions you may have, and tell you more about this unique breeding program. Lindsay?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Before I ask if you have any questions, I'll just give a little bit of context to what you just saw us with here. So as Doug mentioned, this is a 4-year-old mare. This is the first time she's been off the property. She is being started under saddle, and she's had only six rides. So for all of you to see our 6th ride under saddle, we don't usually let anybody see that. But that's usually what we do starting young horses. We have them lunge first, and then we slowly introduce the rider. Stay on the lunge line just for Mircedes' comfort and my own a little bit. This experience here was just to give Mircedes a little bit more exposure. And at the same time, you get to see an example of a buckskin Pinto warm blood mare, which are very rare. Can I answer any questions about Mircedes, about colored horses, or anything that you've seen us do in the ring this afternoon? Sorry, just wave your arms at me. Thank you. Okay, so the question is, what does the term warm blood really mean? Sometimes it's easier for us to explain what a warm blood is not. It's not a hot-blooded breed like a thoroughbred and Arabian, and it's not a cold-blooded breed like the draft horses, the Shires, the Clydesdales, the Percherons. Warm blood is a generic term, like you would say a hunting dog is a generic term, and there are specific types of breeds within a warm blood. So Mircedes is full warm blood, but she's a mix of two types. Her dam was an imported Dutch warm blood, and her sire was an imported German warm blood. It's a generic term, but she is full warm blood. Okay, question was, has she reached her height limit? So at 4 years old, she stands, we say 16.2, but she might be a little bit more. She's likely as tall as she's going to get, but she will develop and get a little bit more muscular as we continue with her training. More questions, Mac? Yeah, question was about immediate interest in colored horses and whether we'll see them at Spruce Meadows. So earlier in the week we had Art's Arrow, which was a black and white Pinto Oldenburg stallion, and he's competed out at Spruce Meadows maybe a year or two ago. A couple of our young horses coming up that are the colored, either the Pinto or Palomino and Buckskin, are 5-year-olds this year, and they've been sold into jumper and eventing homes, so they're starting to get out and being shown. I have a big Palomino that I've started showing in the Hunter range as well, and he's placing just as well as his solid counterparts. The thing about the colored horses, you definitely stand out. If you're in a Hunter ring with 50 other bay or chestnut horses, you get noticed when you're on the Palomino and the Buckskin. Any other questions about her here?
Did you pet the horse, Alexis? Yes.
If you do have any questions, just wave your arms at me. It's been a long 9 days.
Over here.
Okay, so I think our time is done here. If you do have any other questions, or if you'd like to come and meet Mircedes in person, sorry, one more question. Mark will just have to wait.
Really flash.
Okay, question is about cost for a horse like her. Young horses, when they're weaned, about 6 months, generally range from, say, 10 to 15,000, and they increase as their training increases. So a horse like Mircedes, we really like her, so her price is a little bit more. But generally, if you look around the $20,000 mark for a horse that's going under saddle. Okay, if there are any more questions, just come by and visit us at the Blazing Colors booth. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Thank you, Lindsay and Mircedes. And now we present to you another special and unique breed of horse, ladies and gentlemen, as we bring in the Paso Fino.